Good afternoon and welcome to the YALIN WPA Men's World 8-Ball Championships. We are live from the Bali International Conference Centre here in Indonesia. Our next match is Experience Against Youth. Former world champion Thorsten HOHMANN from Germany up against the young pretender KACI from Albania. It's a race to 8 winner breaks, 30-second shot clock, 1 extension each per rack. Your referee for this one is Yalo. I believe he's from Finland, actually. Very, very multi-country setting we have for you here, guys. I'm Mark White. I'm from England, of course. It's Cool Shot. Calling the shots with me on commentary is from Canada. It's Big Red himself. It's Eric Hallifson. Hello, Eric. Don't seem to have Eric just at the moment. We'll do some work on that, guys. I'm sure we'll get him online before too long. Until then, you're stuck with me. I think I hear him now, actually. Are you there, Eric?
Apologies, Mark. I just had a last-second internet outage, but we're good to go.
Well, I might have one of them myself here because there's an absolute huge storm in Thailand where I am at the moment. There's thunder and lightning outside my window. We hope it won't affect the internet, but you never know. So here we go. Thorsten HOHMANN has won the leg and will break in rack number 1. Winner breaks, race to 8. It's straightforward, this one.
Oh, bad start for Thorsten.
What causes that, Eric? Bit too much pop on the cue ball, down too much, or what?
Yeah, the cue ball's bounding into the rack, which it does a lot of the time when you break them hard from the middle, particularly from the bed of the table. And it's just hit off square. Doesn't tend to happen as much from the side rail as it does from the middle. Mainly because you're getting more power from the middle. Yeah, just power and a little erraticism. Is that a word, Mark? Erratic?
Erratic is, yeah. And you could add an anicism on the end if you want. I've got no problem with that. We can make up words ourselves, mate. At least we can't be accused of copying, can we?
Huh.
Yeah, just clarifying that after the break, if it's a scratch after the break, it's cue ball behind the line. You must play a ball outside of the kitchen area. So he's playing the stripe 10 just out of the kitchen, so that's okay.
Yeah, it's going to want to remove the 15 as soon as possible. Looks like the 8 passes it into the bottom right. Open table here. KACI will have less 8-ball experience just because of his age. He's played a lot in Europe. Thorsten known to be one of the strongest 8-ball players to ever play the game. Won the second biggest IPT tournament for $350,000, Mark. I'm sure you remember.
That's where all his money's come from. He's been in Thailand recently. He's been island hopping. He's been buying new clothes. He's been spending it like a millionaire. I'm not surprised then.
Yeah, kind of wants to take the 12 here. If he ends up shooting the 13 near the end of the rack and clipping the 12, bad things could happen. Wanted to be a little straighter on the 15 too. Good shot there.
Eight ball though, Eric. Does it go in the right?
I have a feeling it does, and if he hasn't really looked over at it, almost missed that ball. Hasn't really looked over at it.
He lost the cue ball slightly, just a little bit more angle on this than he wanted. A little bit slightly awkward queuing by the 2 ball, but should be okay. This is a winners round 1 match.
Claudio played with his brother Eklund in the World Doubles Championships that made it to the quarterfinals.
I thought he played really well, to be honest, in that.
Yeah, they both did. 5-set match.
So nicely done. Seemed to go pretty well there. Doesn't look bad 8 ball to me, Eric, as he gets the first one underway, and he will be breaking. It's winner breaks, remember, guys. And there's lots of other action going on at the same time. We'll keep you up to date with all those latest scores. Brittany Bryant, just as I flicked over to the women's side, Brittany Bryant has gone through 2-0 against Camille Buhat. That's a good win over the youngster who looks terrific, doesn't she, Camille? And still going, Wei Chu Chen and Cheska Centino settle, and 3-2 to Wei Chu Chen in the deciding set. And that's a loser's round match, remember. The loser of that is out. At least they can lay on the beach for a little while, though.
This will be the second tournament in a row that Centeno doesn't make stage 2 if she's not able to come back there.
Yeah, I've said it all along. I think she's got that kind of game, whether she's either bang on form, hot, or a little bit cool, I don't think there's any in between with her. No B game. She's either got the A game or the A game or the Z game, shall we say. It's a little bit cruel, I guess, but you know what I mean.
KACI going from the side rail here. He's got lots of power. I don't mind him breaking from there just because of how much power he can generate. Good break. Be favoring solids because of where the 7 is. Could be a slight problem on the left side of the table. Just have to get another look here.
What a future.
3 and the 6
has. What a future he has, Eric.
Sure. Already a semifinalist in a world championship. I mean, you forget these players are younger than 21. It's kind of surprised he's taking stripes here.
Oh, it's gone wrong straight away. Didn't want to clip that 12 ball, wanted to slide past it. So already in a bit of trouble. Torsten, probably one of the best patternist, I suppose you could call him. He's very good at patterns.
Yeah, straight pool experience helps with this game too. One of the best straight pool players in the world. Guess he just didn't like where the 3-6 were as far as solids. He's going to have to find a way to get over to the 10. He can do it off the 14 right now. A little too much speed, but it has it available. He'll have to take it. He has the 12, but too risky to take it later on in the rack. Just having a look at the 12.
10 ball corner pocket.
Gonna go 10.
Of course, your cue ball has to be that much better in 8-ball because there's so many balls on the table. You haven't got the open spaces like you have in 9-ball or 10-ball. So more precision position required. So our first look then at Torsten in the balls.
Three's available to the left middle and the bottom right. It's likely going to have to go before the 6. Pretty straight on the 5 here, so tough to develop any angle. Rough start for Thorsten. Foul in the first break. Missed ball now.
And he's got him right on this 10-ball, just where he wants to be as well. His only awkward ball.
He played very well in Vietnam. He made it to the final 32. Did one of his matches. It was near flawless.
I love his attitude around the table. Was just so cool and calm, just like his brother. And I can tell you guys that Cesca Centeno and Wei Chu Chen are now embroiled in a shootout. It's 1-1 and 3-3. Their deciding set. That's going on right now on table number 2. Right here on table number 1, which is looking absolutely splendid, by the way, with this beautiful, I love the LED lighting.
Yeah, even got to a level where they have a backdrop of the city on the LEDs. I don't think I've seen that before.
Looking very
KACI's
likely.
able to play up the right side here.
Looking likely for 2-0, Eric. He's got a good angle on this.
Yeah, and
15.
hit the last break well. Looks to be a break and run threat.
Yeah, nicely done. The young pretender is doing very, very well against the veteran. Hall of Famer, of course, recently, Torsten HOHMANN. He is the pro at the Amsterdam pool room in New York. Beautiful place. I've been there. Have you ever been to Amsterdam, Eric? Not the country,
No,
the ballroom.
Yeah, no, I've been to New York City a couple times. I was at, what was the one in Queens?
Yeah,
they had a
that's
couple World Pool Series. There's Steinway. It's not there anymore.
Steinway's, yeah,
Been there.
which is now closed. It's shut down, unfortunately. Didn't survive the COVID, but a very, very famous room. Used to be El Strickland's home room and Jason Shaw's as well. Huge place. I made sure.
Yeah, they have an interesting concept in New York now with the New York Q Club. 16 tables. It's open 24 hours. You just pay a monthly fee and you can have all access to the tables anytime. They filled up their
Yeah,
membership
good idea.
within 2 or 3 weeks.
Wow. There's actually one in Finland, called the 247 Club. It's actually owned by Eero Rompinen, who is, of course, Riku's father.
Okay.
You get a little key fob. You have to clean the balls yourself. There's a machine there to clean the balls when you're finished, and there's a coffee machine, vending machines for food and stuff. So, yeah, it could be the way forward, couldn't it?
I think it is. We have 2 in Toronto as well. Pool Lab Billiards being the best one.
So it needs
There's a
to
chance for
get going
Thorsten here to get going.
It's like an
Echoing
echo.
again. Fairly open. 15's kind of surrounded by some solids, but a decent window to get to it. $14-11 finish will work well. Even 15, 14, 11.
Well, I can tell you, Jessica Centeno has knocked out Wei Chu Chen on a shootout. So early exit for a Saigon Women's Open 9-ball champion from Ho Chi Minh. Beat Rublin in the final. A little bit of revenge there for the Philippines from one of Rublin's best friends, Cheska. Yeah, worried he'd gone a little bit far there, Eric, but he's okay, isn't he? Can just drop this in. Yeah, it was straight enough to hold it.
Textbook out from Thorsten. Don't expect him to make any mistakes on the pattern choices. So Centeno's into the losers qualification match, I'm assuming now. There wouldn't be more than 3 rounds of losers side. 1 match back for her now.
Yeah, she's in the losers qualification.
See if Thorsten sticks from the middle here. Could be a little spooked by his first break.
Yeah, very good win. We had, of course, Xiao Xia Yu on the stream earlier on. Her sister, younger sister, Jia Jia Zhao, has won in straight sets over Amber Chen. So very, very good result there. That was from the winners qualification, though. So she does have another chance, Amber Chen. Back to the men's 8-ball. Thorsten breaking off. 2-1 behind. Oh, that's a better hit, Eric.
Yeah, 2 balls down. Both stripes, I believe. 4 balls in a tough spot for the solids. I think he'll favor stripes here. Only has a long opener. Looking at something down at the top end. Might be able to pocket the 10. If he can, this is a very good out here.
Yeah, good chance, isn't it, to draw level. Everything in the open for stripes. Nice last key ball as well. The 9-ball for the 8, which goes into both bottom pockets and both side pockets.
Yeah, I expect there to be a lot of break-in runs in this match. Both great players. Both hit the break well.
Wry smile on the face of HOHMANN. He knows he didn't really get into that cue ball enough.
Extension.
Smallest risk of coming 2 rails around to the right middle with the cue ball. Might be thin enough to miss it on the thin side of the pocket.
It's there. Where's the cue ball though? Cue ball safe as well. Nicely done. Well, there's a couple of matches still ongoing from this morning's round of women's action. Chihiro Kawahara, who I remember had a right battle with Han Yu in China recently. Well, they've got another one now. They've just gone 1 set each on that. So there must be some really, really tight stuff going on there. Christina Zateva is a set down and 3-3 in the second.
Thurston going from the same place on the table. Switched over to the right side after he scratched on the first break. Well hit. Nothing down though. Three's tied up with the 9. Looks like I believe it's the 15 can play into that area. Have to get pretty thin on the 15. Not quite seeing the whole pattern yet.
Extension.
I think it's got to be stripes. The 2 balls in a bad spot. Ten ball's the only stripe that can lead him into that small area on the 15, really.
Ball side pocket.
You can see KACI's taking some time here too. Not straightforward.
Here, player overall performance after 4 racks. Torsten at 8.89 and Cledio at 8.95. That will change, of course, after this rack.
Yeah, you're going to see a little higher overall performance in 8-ball because really it's a lot of offense, not considering the defensive plays into the overall performance.
Yeah, good point.
Pocketing tends to be a little easier too. Well, it is easier for sure. I mean, the only way Can he draw into it now? He will if he can. Running out of balls. Too much. Doesn't look like he's on the 10. He has the 15. But the 9 becoming bigger and bigger of a problem.
15 ball corner pocket.
It's there. He can actually get on an angle on the 11 to play the left. Oh, I like just rolling down, like more down here, yeah.
Yeah, I like that as well. Draw into it, Eric. It's a big target, isn't it? Being so close to the rail, plus it's 2 balls. Big target. Looks good. Do or die. As you know, in 8 ball, if you leave yourself with a couple of balls left on the table, you're all of a sudden second favourite to win. Now, he has got a cross corner bank here, or a cross side bank even, if he wants to risk it, Eric. Cue ball will be flying around.
Yeah, I think I'd favor the corner on this one. It's thin either way. He definitely can't hold for the 8, even if he plays the corner. He's going corner again, try to play a bunch of draw, maybe get into the 6. No, not even going to go up table. Wow, good try.
It was a race to get there, but look at this cue ball. Wow, it could have been a lot easier for Torsten.
Yeah, he's just checking if the 9 goes in the bottom right. If it doesn't, he'll take the 1. Second missed ball for Thorsten. Tough for Claudio to release the cue ball back up table. Hitting balls going to both pockets.
9 ball corner pocket.
He's going to try to draw off the top side of the 1. This will be a good shot. What a shot. What a shot, Mark. Didn't quite have a full camera view of the contact on the 1, but great shot. Those are the kind of shots you see in 8 ball sometimes, those low percentage shots at the end of the rack. Rotation, you just end up playing safe even if you get out of line at the end. But that was a great one there.
Now then, we are, of course, in Bali, but what does Bali mean? Well, many believe the name came from the Sanskrit word Bali, which translates to something in the lines of sacrifice, offering, or tribute. This fits perfectly with Balinese Hinduism, especially with their daily offerings made to the gods, ancestors, and spirits. Another folklore is that Bali was named after King Mahabali, who was a powerful but generous ruler. According to scriptures, it was the Hindu god Vishnu who named him Mahabali. There you go. You've got choices. So breaking off full square. Sorry if I put you off there, Claudio. I'm talking over your shot.
Middle of the rack didn't separate as well as it usually does, but 2 balls down. See the 6 balls in the middle, how they kind of just stuck there? When you hit them with that much power and they don't separate as much, there's a couple spaces in the rack. Not blaming the ref, it's tough. Six and the 9 are going to have to be dealt with. Ralph Suquet looking on in the crowd.
Extension.
The 1 doesn't pass the 10, otherwise he'd be shooting the 1 and trying to open up the 6. Oh, he's going to bank the 6. I'm surprised I missed that. That's the best play. It's too tough if he starts with the 14 to get into the 9. I guess he could get into it off the 12. The 14 works for a breakout, but it's not really accessible because the 10's blocking it. He's trying to get into a small window here for the 14. Didn't get it.
10 ball side pocket.
Well, our Paul Stats guy is working on some amazing things. I was talking with him during the break between matches, Eric, and he's working on something called POST, which is the possibility of running out a rack the way the balls are situated. So I'm sure the next match will have that all sorted out for you, but it's very, very interesting. I just don't quite understand it myself at the moment, so I've asked him to reword it a little bit for stupid English people like myself.
I didn't get into the 9 there. It's in trouble now. He spoke to me about it too. I think what he was saying to me sounds a little different, but when you're running out, he's going to keep track of how many balls you could possibly pocket after where the cue ball lands. So like in this case, it could be the 3, the 1, only the 3 and the 1. And the theory is that the more balls you could possibly be on, the more options you have and the stronger of a pattern it is. It's just a... Look at this. It's a factor. I think it's useful. And, you know, Michael's a genius at stats. He's provided us with a lot of good information over the course of the tournaments. We appreciate his work.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Certainly got the right name, the Paul Stat guy.
Yeah.
Extension.
So here we go, Eric. What's going to go on here? What's Torsten?
Yeah, anytime a world-class player is coming in, I just call this outnumbering. He has 7 and the opponent has 2. They're a big favorite to run out. Doesn't look like too many problems here. Had to get rid of this 7 to open up the pocket for the 5 and the 4. Looks like the cue ball's running into the 3 now, but it should be okay.
Would you consider taking the 3 and drawing in between? No, he's not. He knows what he's doing. I'll keep quiet.
Well, I'm surprised he can miss it. That was a good play.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I was thinking, Eric. I was thinking of taking the 3 and then draw in 2 rails into the corner and out to play over for the 6.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, because it was a bit risky and difficult to hold. The chance has gone begging.
Yeah, it's like third mistake for Thorsten in this match. Needs to get the drawing all right here.
Left himself a bit to do, Eric.
Yeah, a little too close to the rail. He's going to have to decide whether he wants to play it in its slower speed or higher speed. I think he'll favor the slower speed here. It's slightly elevated, so... Oh, I fired it in with good speed. Shot.
Halfway to the 8 he requires to send Torsten to the one lost side.
Players with the option to take a break after 6 games and after 12 games. Both players electing to stay in the arena.
Both happy enough. Just a couple of misses from Torsten. That's about it, really, isn't it, in this match?
Yeah, Claudio's played well. I like how long he takes at the beginning of the rack. It shows that he's thinking about all the options. Not to single anyone out, but kind of opposite of what Satoris was doing yesterday, just kind of weaving his way around the table. It's not going to lead to consistent play in 8-ball. You can tell Claudio's likes to think about the game.
Yeah, Darren obviously hasn't heard the advice from Jeremy Jones, who says you've got 60 seconds at the beginning after the break. Use them, because time is something you can never get back. So just use it all to really work your way through the rack. And, even, well, if I don't quite get on that one, I've still got that one. Just give it lots of thought. Use your time up. It's a good point, Eric.
Particularly in 8-ball.
There's Ralph Suke. Look, the Kaiser watching his good friend Torsten. Not a bad 8-ball player himself, is he?
Solo's looking good at first glance here. Eight ball is going to be a little tough if he does take solids. I don't know if there's a ball on the right long rail. That would help for the 8. There is the 6. The 1 doesn't pass the 5. That's a bit of a bigger problem than you would think. He's in a bit of trouble here. He still has the 6, but he's going to have to come across into the 10.
Extension. Five ball corner pocket.
Yeah, similar thinness on the 5 and the 6. Cue ball can play into the 8 here. Oh, almost made it out of turn, Mark. Worst nightmare in 8-ball. I like the 2 a little better here. Not queuing over a ball. Can still get out. One more good shot. 6 can lead into the 1. Thought he was going to try to hit the 9 there. Probably was. So just scrambling a little bit. It's good now. It's finally in line.
And I think Torsten may just be a little bit surprised how this standard of 8-ball coming from this youngster, who obviously hasn't played too much of it, but, well, it shows that he probably has, though. He's obviously been practicing. I mean, that's a great out again. 5-2. And there you see Ralph Suke. Ralph already through to winners qualification. Let's just run through the qualifiers already. Joshua Filler, Albin Ocean, Bader Al-Wahadi, Radislav Babica, Shane Van Boning, of course, who had an 8-6 win last night after being down 6-4. In Jakarta, Hayato, Jeffrey Zen, Mieszko Fortunski, that's Ralph's next opponent. So just some players through Eric already to winners qualification. More men's 8-ball coming at 4:30 local time.
Yeah, playing down to a final 32 single elimination. I'm impressed with how much power KACI gets from the side rail. Tough to hit them this hard. Nothing this time. Bit of a tougher table for HOHMANN. Just crossing the rack just slightly a couple times. It's the only error he's making. Really only had an opener on stripes there. The stripes play okay. If he gets on the 9 here, it'll make the rack a lot easier. Great shot. He'd want to be drawing into the 8 just to open up the 8 a little more. I don't think he is. Oh, he is, but just drawing into the wrong side of it. Still clipped it. (10-14) finish could play okay. Gonna have to get straight on the 10. Doesn't want to be playing off to the left of the 12, and he is a bit. Bit of trouble coming forward 2 rails with the 1 and the 4. Really could switch patterns here. 10, 14, 12 last. Oh, he was a little straighter than I thought. That's a great shot. It's like a pinch draw. You follow through a little shorter. You just get the cue ball drawing back a little quicker than it would. And if you follow through longer.
Funny you say that. I think that's the shot he was actually trying to teach me or explain to me. The pinch draw. Very good shot to have in your locker.
Yeah, like it's another slang for it's called a quick draw. It's just the cue ball doesn't go forward first. It draws right away off the object ball. It helps with, or it's easier to execute with slower speed or shorter follow through. Jasmine Ocean actually did a video about it.
I'll have to watch it. I like her videos. They're very entertaining, very informative, but a little bit of humour in them as well. She doesn't mind laughing at herself. She does all her own editing. She does it all herself. I was really, really impressed.
Yeah, it's a great channel. And like you said, upbeat too. Just kind of throws a little flavor in it.
Yeah, I can't stand it when you watch a video and they're just kind of yelling at you how to do it. This is what you must do. This is how it's done. This is how you do it, and explaining all these different scientific things and physics and all that kind of stuff. I just like the way she tells it exactly how it is in simple terms. For why not make it as simple as possible? You get more viewers that way. You're not going to put anyone off.
I agree. Slightly less power on that one, but really it's been a little unfortunate on the break. Hit them well twice, hasn't made a ball. KACI doesn't have much for openers here. Does have the 2 or the 1. Stripes lie a little better than the solids, but nothing really to start with on the stripes.
Yeah, big difference in break success between the two of them. Torsten just 25%, Cledio 60%. Table time 26% for Torsten against 74 for Cledio. So you can see why the scores as it is.
Just to find a way to get onto the 7. If he has the 3 now, he might be able to develop some angle towards that. Just looking at the angle he wants on the 3. Doesn't have it quite yet, but going to try to get it on the next shot. Well, he's able to move over for the 7, even better. Looking good to get through this rack now, Mark. I like how he plays.
I'm impressed. He reminds me of a controlled Derin. He plays at the same kind of pace. Cue's similar. I think his patterns are just slightly more thought out. But yeah, entertaining to watch. Good to watch 8-ball like this, really is.
That's an interesting thing with the stroke. He dips it down a little bit on the first part of the backstroke, then swings it up, and then comes through. Earl Strickland did that for years. He doesn't do it as much anymore. Mika Immonen and Shane Van Boning both do that. Yap as well. But it's not a common thing.
Yeah, did you mention Gorst?
Does he dip it a little bit? Yeah. Or swings up at the back, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah. Depends what shot he's playing. Sometimes he goes from low to high and then sometimes high to low. Do you know, Eric, there's not been one safety shot in this match so far. Not one safety. That's crazy,
Yeah,
isn't it?
There won't be much in 8-ball. I mean, it's just if the table's real tough. But you're right. You would think there'd be a couple by now.
I mean, you normally sort of see a couple, don't you? 2 or 3, something like that in the space of a match. We've not had one yet. Good shot. This for 6-3. He's certainly equipping himself very well against what you could call an 8-ball master in Torsten HOHMANN. Let's give you some latest scores, guys. Jeffrey DeLuna in action against Felix Vogel. And it's the Bull who's beating the Birdman 4-0 at the moment. Alex Kazakis, we saw him here earlier watching Kelly's match. He's 2-0 up over Rizky. Simon Curao 2-1 up against Gerson Kumayas from the Philippines. Mario He just starting out against Chan Keng Kwang. Roman Hebler 2-1 down to Ponko Murung. Mohamed Sufi 5-2 down to Ali Amir. And Demetrius Dakatos, good friends with Alex Kazakis, of course. He's 2-0 down to Hamza Said Ali. At the moment, Kledio's brother, Eklund, is 1-1 with Sanjin Perlevanovic.
Yeah, Ali Amir is a bit of an enigma. He has the highest Fargo in the world, actually. I'm pretty sure. But he doesn't have very high robustness. Yeah, he doesn't have very high robustness. Would never if that'd be you'd trick a lot of people with that question.
I was going to try and get you with it at some point, but now I know you know it. I'm definitely not asking it, Eric.
Well, if you would have said it to me without me hearing his name first, I probably would have got it wrong.
I was actually going to ask it in a way, who has the least robustness but the highest
of the
Fargo is what I was going to weigh. I was going to ask it then. I think you'd have got it, yeah.
Yeah.
Nine-ball corner.
5 balls along the top short rail. Looks like he's going to play a combo on the first shot, opening things up a little bit. .12 didn't separate ideally, but it is available to few pockets. Got the angle to open up to 14 now. Real positive developments for KACI in this rack. Started out real tough, but it's getting easier. Gonna have to find a way to get back for the 12. Oh, didn't really separate properly there. He's in trouble now. Could still bank the 14 if he needs to. That helped. I thought he was too thin to hold for the 12, so he can possibly get through the rack now. Tough shot on the 12. Gonna have to play it with some right spin. It's actually a little tough to get kind of on top of the 14 where it's not a cross bank. Might go 3 rails back because of that. Oh, just bank this one too.
Well, there's a window open, Torsten.
Just broke down at the end of the rack a little bit, but it was a tough one to start with. Good effort.
6 ball. Okay, not as bad as the 14, but it's still got to be got on. Maybe trying to get on it here, is he?
Yeah,
I think he is.
Let's get rid of the 6 as soon as possible. Looking good. Just has to get something going on the break. He's hitting them well. And breaking from an offensive position. So if he starts making some, he can get back in this match.
Yeah, hit that one well to leave himself on the 7 nicely to get to the 1. 1 and the 8 in the same pocket. Told me a very interesting story, actually, Torsten. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here. I don't think he said don't tell this story, but he was once, he'd got on an aeroplane, he'd booked a seat, and the seat had been given away to somebody else. It was a window seat, and they said, we only have an aisle. He said, well, I'd really like a window if possible. So ended up, anyway, getting a window seat and sitting talking to a guy who was actually a shoe manufacturer. And they got talking, and Torsten told him that, you know, I'm a ex-world champion from pool, and which the guy loved pool. And they got to talking, and now they're in negotiations about bringing out shoes for pool players. And Torsten actually had a pair of the prototypes on at the time that he showed me. And I was just looking to see if he's got them on now. I don't think he has. But anyway, I just thought that was you never know what's going to happen in your life. 1 minute you can be down and out, and then the next minute, you just chance meeting with somebody, And all of a sudden, you've got your own shoe line.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you're on your feet so much, especially if you're playing like a regional tournament and you're in the pool room for like 10 hours over the course of the day. You need supportive footwear. They had this brand called Moose billiard shoes that ended up folding. But when I first heard of it, I thought that's a good idea. I'm not sure why it didn't make it. But
I think nobody liked the horns. Nobody
that.
liked the horns on the front of them, Eric. That's what was wrong with them.
Of course.
So made balls on the break, Eric, which is a good start. But how's it looking, though, from here on in?
Yeah, open table. Open table, I mean, he's breaking from the middle, so he's going to get a lot of layouts like this. Knowing this tripped him up is not making a ball, but he's got one here. Has to get on this free decently quick. And the one. I actually didn't see the one down there. The one's going to be the toughest. Not tough, but has to get on a small angle to be able to pocket it and release the cue ball from that area. You can do it now.
36 balls for Torsten. 56 for Cledio so far. That's the difference in the score before this rack, of course.
Can come around 2 rails here and get on this free. Just gonna straighten it out with some right spin. Shot. Gonna have to leave some distance on the 4. It is available on the bottom right if he feels like drawing it back, the cue ball back towards the 13.
Well, great comeback from Christina Zlateva against Bean Hung. She was a set down. She's come back to 1 set each, and she's 3-1 up in the deciding set. So already guaranteed herself a shootout. Sao Sauer up against Pia Filler. It's 1-1 there in sets. Slight advantage for Sao. She has a 2-1 lead. Christina to catch already through. Defending champion, looking very, very good. 2-0. You may have seen earlier on Kelly Fisher going down 2-0 to Xiao Xia. Jasmine through 2-0 over Wang Bui Zhuang. Rubelin Ahmed also through in straight sets against Wang Ling Wang. Chihiro still going with Han Yu. 1-1 in sets, and it's Chihiro, the Japanese, who has got a 2-0 lead in the deciding set there. And the younger sister of Rita, Chia Tao, 2-0 win over Amber Chen. And the big news of that round, Cheska Centino has knocked out Wei Chu Chen. Good hit, Eric.
Good snap. Yeah, great hit. 13 might go. Doesn't. It's going to be good news for KACI here. Tough. You know, 8-ball, even with templates, can be fickle like this. It's the most fickle break for some reason. It's something to do with there's more balls in the rack. You would think there's more balls on the table, you got a higher percentage of making one, but it's not necessarily like that.
Yeah, there's more to knock each other out the way, that kind of thing as well, isn't there? So you have to take that into consideration, I guess.
I never thought of that. Yeah, it's a good point.
Extension.
$14 is going to be the toughest stripe for KACI. Taking a look if it passes the 11. Does want to take care of the 12-15.
Very interesting, actually. Well, Torsten's had 2 break and runs, average time 2 minutes 40. Cledio with just 1, and his time was 3 minutes 20 for his out. I wouldn't have thought that was the case, that Torsten had more than Cledio.
15 ball.
And yet trails 6-5.
It seems like he's run more. I guess it's because Thorsten hasn't made a ball in a few breaks, and Cladio's run all the way out, but it hasn't specifically been from his break.
Yeah, that's the worst stat for Torsten, of course. His break, just at 33%, has improved slightly from 26. So he's breaking slightly better, Eric. Numbers don't lie, do they? Numbers I never get right are the lottery ones, if only.
Still has the 14 left, but it's available into the bottom right now.
Yeah, this to get on the hill as well. Remember, race to 8. Seems to be a good thinker, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how he plays. I think he can do well in this tournament. But it's also an interesting stat that he's only broken around 1 rack. And when you're breaking from the side rail like that, you're going to get more tied up tables overall. Well, the 14 went in the side. He's fine here. You're going to get more tied up tables overall. And that's actually what happened to him a couple times. He made a ball, but the table was so tough to run out. Shane Van Boning won the tournament 1 year, breaking from the side rail. But with like huge power. So they kind of spread out better than they normally would.
I like the way he played this. A bit strong though, I think, maybe. Oh, a bit strong. Just enough to make it a little awkward with the bridge in. Right in the heart of the pocket though. So Cledio KACI arrives at the hill. 7-5 it is. Called a timeout there from Torsten. We've had 12 racks. So Eric Hallison and myself, Mark White, we're just going to take a quick timeout as well. But Cledio looking good. We'll be back as soon as the players are back. See you soon, guys. Welcome back, guys, to Bali. We're in the International Conference Centre here in Indonesia. Interesting 8-ball match going on. And another very, very interesting stat. Only 2 successful breaks for Torsten, but they've both been break and runs. So if only he could make more balls on the break. He's 100% at the moment of break and running when he's actually made a ball.
Yeah, his patterns are good, and especially with that offensive break, he's a big favorite to run out if he makes one.
Needs to get the break back, though, and quick. This is Cledio's last break.
Cut it a little bit, which is going to give less spread overall. 12 ball sliding in the side last minute.
Yeah, that was what the hand was for. Got a little bump there.
Not the easiest table. Has openers on stripes or solids. 10 ball's the toughest stripe by far. He can open up the 10 with the 11. Looks like that's what he's going to do. The 8 ball's going to be a little tough, but he can worry about... Oh, no, he's going to go 2 ball. 3 into the 5, maybe.
Going wrong. He's going to have to take the 4 ball or the 7. Of course, that was Cledio's final break, Eric. He finishes with a break percentage of 71%. How does that kind of rank in tournament win, kind of, you know?
Yeah, it's right in the range you want to be.
Oh, that was a nice shot. Broke the 5 out. Okay, his next shot is a little bit awkward, Eric, but everything's now available. The 4 ball, of course, is a little bit awkward as well, though.
Extension.
Yeah, I don't know if the 1 passes to the bottom left. Biggest issue here is just getting on the next ball. 7's not going to provide him good position. 5 ball's a little thin. Very
6.
It's not too
after
bad.
the 5.
Yeah, I thought it was a little thinner than it was on the overhead here. It looks like he can slow it down.
Oh, that's not bad at all, is it? The 1 does go, Eric, into the left, as we just saw there as well, which helps regarding the 4 ball. So this is a real opportunity now for Cledio. It just has to... Well, it's 1 more good shot here, isn't it, from this 7 that he needs. Oh, he's on the 6 or the 1, but nothing is ideal here. This is awkward still. Can he drop the 1 in and hold for the 6?
I think he can. I think that's what he'll play, and then if he gets an angle going to the right, the left off the 6, he can run into the 10. He'll actually play for that angle slightly because it doesn't really want to be going to the left off of it. It's a little in between here. So considering coming below it now. So work. Has to have good cue ball control.
It's the thing with 8-ball, if you don't take your chance when you've got it, you've almost got no chance of winning the rack. He's got below it though, Eric. This is looking pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, just have to see what kind of angle he has moving towards the 8. He's going to run into it.
Just kind of take it with him, can't he? Just.
And if he went over to the left side of the table, I think he's thinking about drawing to the left of it.
Wow, what a big shot. What a great shot. Well, I'm so impressed with KACI. I really am. He's beaten one of the world's best 8-ball players here. Okay, the break wasn't really working for Torsten, so he'll be working on that. But the handshake comes. No complaints from Torsten. So he's going to have to go the longer route than his good friend there, Ralph Souquet, is going to be taking. So thanks for your company, guys. We're back again at 4:15 local time.